Hello and welcome to another morning report right here live on NTN. My name is Jessie Leonce. I'm joined in studio by my colleague Carlton Cyril for today, Thursday, the 17th of June, 2020. We do hope that you have been you did have a restful evening, and back to business this morning. St. Lucia continues to be on alert, and we continue our phased reopening of the society. Good morning, Carlton.
Morning, Jessie. Bonjour pour Mademoiselle Grandison.
Good morning.
Papier Saint-Onge pour nous ici. Encore nous avons dit bonjour et merci pour qui avez nous pour ces jeunes qui sont sur Facebook. Nous avons dit bonjour bah ou qui écoutez nous sur radio. Toujours un plaisir pour nous et puis nous. Aujourd'hui c'est jeudi le 18 que nous avons apprécié tellement pour support côté nous avons information et développement qu'on a fait ici à commode centre information ici à GIS NTN. Merci tellement. Développement parmi les pour faire Covid qu'on bien savent Mademoiselle Grandison c'est une qui a travaillé bureau santé et puis c'est une qui a conseillé mon les venir pour affaires famille qu'on a assez pour parler puis nous aujourd'hui nous avons pour écouter et nous apprendre bagay aujourd'hui qu'on nous ba information et développement. Merci tellement. Non moi c'est Carlton Cooks Cyril et nous continuer ici et puis programme nous.
Thanks for that, Carlton. Correction on the date, 18th of June 2020. And you let the cat out of the bag. We have a very special guest here in studio. Once again with us, Family Life Educator at the Bureau of Health Education, Miss Naomi Granderson. And she's here to speak to us on some more topics surrounding our response to COVID-19. And that is coming up in just a moment. Good morning, Naomi, by the way.
Good morning, family. Good morning.
Okay. All right.
Before we get started with the interview, I just want to go over some important updates. 168 more St. Lucian nationals will be returning home. Also, the Urinor International Airport redevelopment project will officially commence this week. The Ministry of Education to engage stakeholders on phased reopening of school come September 2020. And we have some 2020-2021 scholarship opportunities. And finally, a release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness on staying healthy in the COVID-19 environment. It is the new normal. We have to make our way through this new existence, adjust all our sectors in our society to this. We have these updates and this special interview coming up in just a moment. We're due for our first break. Stay tuned.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is St. Lucia. Let her inspire you.
Thank you so much for staying tuned, watching. Our viewers, a special good morning to you watching from St. Lucia residents in St. Lucia, as well as St. Lucians in the diaspora, as well as our well-wishers. We continue into the new normal. We have updates for you this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jessie Leonce and Carlton Cyril. We have on the top of the list, 168 more St. Lucian nationals to return home. Through the ongoing repatriation process, the government of St. Lucia will on Friday, June 19th, 2020, welcome home 168 St. Lucian nationals who are employees of a Norwegian cruise line. The Department of Health and Wellness has granted permission for the arrival and disembarkation process of MS Marina at Port Castries, which the vessel will depart St. Lucia. All returning nationals will be screened by port health personnel and transferred to a government-operated quarantine facility for a period of 14 days. To date, efforts by the government through the Department of External Affairs and its representative offices, the Ministry of Tourism, the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, along with the relevant agencies, have resulted in the successful repatriation of 616 nationals, which will increase to a total of 784 upon the arrival of the MS Marina on Friday, 20th June. Efforts are ongoing to ensure that stranded nationals in Europe, the Philippines, Dubai, Brazil, and Mexico, along with others in North America and the Caribbean region, can be brought home soon. Nationals are reminded to liaise and register with the nearest St. Lucia Embassy and Consulate, along with the Office for Diaspora Affairs. So that's the leading update in our response to COVID-19, the repatriation of 168 more St. Lucian nationals this week. We go to our interview for this morning, Ms. Naomi Granderson. She is the family life educator at the Bureau of Health Education. Again, a special good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
I can imagine you have your work cut out for you in the department. Can you just, as we begin, just tell us about the extent of works within your department in response to COVID-19?
Well, our department is focused primarily on education, information dissemination, going out and targeting messages and information to the public based on some of the latest updates we have received. For instance, when COVID started, then while it wasn't even here yet, we started doing educational sessions on a community level. We started printing material as it relates to it, whether it be for our own exchange or to give to persons. We started planning how we're going to use the media and so on to disseminate information. And as it, arrived on island and it began to spread in the community, then we tailored our message aggressively in terms of infection control and making it very clear about quarantine, the difference between quarantine and isolation, and recognizing the symptoms, when to call. So as things change, we began to expand the message, tailor the message. And so the department is really about education, because that is really how people are really going to change, through understanding and having the correct information so that they can act appropriately to prevent themselves from getting infected.
And I'd imagine it would extend to the businesses with the phased reopening of our sector so far.
Well, we do get calls with persons trying to clarify protocol and, of course, being able to disseminate, give the right information to their staff in order to motivate positive change and to deal with the fear and the anxiety that may be associated with coming back into the workplace and having to cope with those protocols and still have the fear.
Okay. We have seen, despite the protocols being put out, we had the adjusted protocols, which were lessening sort of less stringent protocols, I would say, to have St. Lucians be out there a little bit more and maneuver in this new normal. We still do have restrictions on mass crowd events, contact sporting events. However, we did see on the weekend an unauthorized motorcade taking place. I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but if you could speak to the risks that the population, individuals who decide to participate in activities of such, the risk that they are putting themselves at. Mass crowd events, contact sporting events, and sporting events in general, for which the CMO, Dr. Sharon Delmar-George, indicated was still restricted at this time.
The message remains the same, and sometimes we just need to continue reiterating the information that has been there from the get-go. We recognize, I am hoping by now, you, I, and everybody else out there who's been listening, that the virus is spread more quickly when persons assemble, when there are large groups of people, when social distance is difficult to implement. When people get together, they tend to become, we tend to be, we're social people in St. Lucia. We like to touch each other. We like to hug. We like to, you know, be close to each other. So hence the reason why there's that protocol about the mass crowd events, because as I spoke, remember when I was here earlier on and I spoke about the areas where you have the most people assembling,
right.
That's where the potential and the threat for the virus lingering in the air is even more. So I just want to encourage persons to continue to be vigilant. We have gotten some good news, yes, about St. Lucia with regards to where we are, where the COVID-19 is concerned. But to maintain the protocol and try to follow the directives from the sources like the Ministry of Health, CDC, PAHO, World Health Organization, and try to stick to it as much as possible, because it's about you, it's about your family, and if you do that, then the outcome is better for you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And the information that we're getting from the Ministry of Health and Wellness is not developed from this local base. It is from the World Health Organization, trickle down to PAHO. Can you just speak to that train?
I'm happy you brought that up, Jesse. You know, we don't just wake up and say, you know, at the end of the day, that we're just going to implement things based on what we see alone. We are part of a wider globe, and there are organizations who have had the experience, who have the researchers, who have the scientists, the doctors, and who have proper channels in place to guide us as to what would be the best way to contain and control viruses, and even just generally diseases on a whole, because we've been inundated with COVID-19, but there's so many other diseases that these very organizations, starting at the top with the World Health Organization and so on, filtering down to PAHO, give guidance on, give support on, give updated information, and we were kind of fortunate in the sense, right, that a lot of countries had experienced COVID-19 before us. Feedback, research was done. Success stories were observed to see, okay, containment, staying at home, standing at a certain distance, proved to be effective in preventing the spread. We were able to get the 6 feet afterwards. We were able to understand the fact of the speaking also, the particles, the small droplets and particles, even smaller than when you sneeze, when you speak to, can also be a method by which the COVID-19 or the virus can spread. So we're guided, and as things change, they're checking to see what works. You understand? And if they know what is working and they give us advice, then we can look within our own context and implement according to our culture and guide our people accordingly. And I'm very, very happy and proud for those of us who have tuned in to the Ministry of Health and, of course, GIS and these organizations, and done our best to stick to the protocols to the best of our ability. It has proved to be effective, but, you know, I mean, for you, Carlton too, Carlton Naipino, me just gade ek made a question. Nous n'y pour aussi pour précaution, puis let it by kagade bell. We've heard it over and over, mais let it by kagade bell. C'est le nous venir ensemble, nous pas kay pour précaution qu'on avant. Puis nous pas ni pewez la ko avant. Ek la ni nation actuellement qui te ja ouvert et qui yo vie fermé. Yo vie fermé puis comme moun venir ensemble, virus la, vermine la, ka commencé
Vie
si manger.
Avec moun ka contacter.
Et qui just ni pour point yon moun. Just yon moun. Yon moun. A crowd sala. Let tout moun passe à observer social distance, distance social or physical distance like we saying right now, where people are uncomfortable with the mask so they take it off for it to begin to take its course. All right, so hence the reason why we, you know, nous ka just mande tout moun pour prendre précaution et let nous buy a directive pour pas essayer.
And fortunately so, I think yesterday was the 13th consecutive day that we've not had a case of COVID-19 here on island. The testing continues to increase, so we've passed the 1,000 mark in terms of tests so far.
Yes.
A total of 1,447 tests have been carried out to date. I just want to go back to the 18 cases that are fully recovered. We have the 19 still being treated at the respiratory hospital, and swing over to how we engage these individuals now that they're coming back into our society in the broader context of learning to live with COVID, because you will have individuals who will now be coming from survivors of COVID-19, I should say. Can you speak to how we should be engaging these survivors? We know they're coming back into the community, they're returning into the workplace, they're returning to the classrooms perhaps. The ministry is anticipating new cases. So what will the world look like with COVID-19 survivors, and how should we approach it as humane, well-meaning citizens?
It's so important, Jesse, that when there is a new condition like COVID-19, that is where there is a lot of unknown and it spreads and it causes quite disturbing symptoms, I would say, there is something that can happen within us as human beings, and that is called stigma. Stigma, we hear the word all the time. I want to just bring to the fore other conditions, maybe when we were not aware of HIV and what it is and how it is transmitted, and there was this sort of like attitude towards persons, belief systems. So being that we have persons who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 and of course they've recovered, because of that particular fear and that particular sense of it being unknown, what other information that may be unknown, you understand? Persons might develop what we call that social stigma, and what it really means is when there's a negative association between a person or a group of persons because of a specific disease that they have or characteristics that they bear. And instead of seeing the disease as the problem or the virus as the problem, as the danger, we begin to label the person. So even if the authorities have indicated that this individual has recovered, what we are finding, not just with that, but even persons in quarantine, is that the fear feeds that sort of like negative attitude and that disapproving feeling towards these persons. Even
unconfirmed suspected cases.
Even persons who may have the condition, persons who may not have it at all, but because protocol is in place for the quarantine period and people know that they were quarantined, that alone triggers that mindset of disapproval, stay away, something is wrong with you, the person, rather than let me focus on this particular virus and this particular disease. So what ends up happening is that I label, like, you know, I say, hey, Cooks was in quarantine. Casa Cooks.
When you pull up by the block.
They start calling Cooks COVID, possible COVID. They literally, Casa mi corona.
Cooks video.
Cooks video. They come up with all kind of names, right? They literally label the person as the disease, or they see, when they see the person, they see the disease or the potential for the disease or the fact that they could have been around people that had the disease. and some of the misinformation, they attach it to the person. So stigma is linked to labeling in a negative way. It is linked to stereotyping the person. And it is then linked to discrimination against the person, not wanting the person to access certain services, to be a certain place, to enjoy the freedoms that they used to enjoy. So it's almost like a dehumanizing, in a sense. And you know, with everything going on in the world, we need to be very careful about how we treat each other. And just what happens is that if I am stigmatizing someone who has had or has the condition or who may have the condition, then I am also judging myself, because I am a human being who is exposed to infectious agent all the time. And I may very well contract the disease. And imagine if I think about myself that way. So if I think about myself possibly having the disease that way, or even having it, and I reject myself and I disapprove of myself, would I really want, even if I suspect that I may have the disease, would I really want to display those symptoms in public? Would I really want to call the centers?
You conceal.
Would I really want to tell my neighbor how I'm feeling? So this is one of the disadvantages and the effect of that kind of stigma. It actually facilitates the spread of a particular condition, and it prevents the individual who is clearly, in the case we're speaking about, who has clearly recovered from integrating into society properly. It causes a sense of isolation within that individual. And it is all fed a lot of the times by misinformation, lack of trust in the information that is given, and the fear of the unknown. Interestingly, I spoke to some students recently, and I spoke to the case of when somebody recovers. You know, basically, a lot of the times we assist the body to be able to fight this particular vermin or virus or agent that enters your body. Your body has a defense system, right? Unia amia dida ko kikai gume le unia vermina or bai. So if you get treated, it can help, you understand, to support your body in dealing with that. And to a certain extent, your body would develop immunity. And then you can to a point recover. And some of the students told me they don't believe that the person would not have the COVID-19. And that was interesting for me, that they don't believe that even if they say the person is recovered, that the person does not have
carrier
or does not have the ability to spread the COVID-19. And I found that interesting, because we have developed immunity to a number of diseases. Actually, that's what the vaccines assist with. And over the years, people have let go of that fear because they're confident about it. But in a sense, that kind of belief system can trigger the stigmatization and triggers even fear, even sickness within yourself, anxiety, depression within yourself, because even if the person has recovered, you still don't think they recover. And so it's like, stay away, protection, oh my God, I'm not safe. So you as the person who's stigmatizing because you believe a particular thing that is not true or has no basis or no confirmation, you can cause yourself mental health issues too. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like a double-edged sword. Of course, because people know that things can change so quickly, information is thing, they can come up with more of the negative information rather than the positive information that we could find out. And that could feed the stigma even further.
Just adding to, and in the broader context, we're looking at living in this new COVID-19 environment, reality, scenario, and beyond the immediate precautions that have been put out by health officials, being covering your mouth, masks, 6 foot distance, It is requiring us at this point in time, if I could just reference the latest press release from the Department of Health and Wellness, it is requiring us to develop and adopt new lifestyle habits entirely. You know, what you choose to eat, how you build your immunity, you know, the level of exercise that you decide to take. It will revolutionize, you know, how we are called upon to carry ourselves in terms of building greater immunity, staying healthy, and being able to keep COVID-19 at bay should we come into contact with it, you know?
Jesse, it's so interesting. The protocols that, that we encourage persons to follow. If everybody would follow the protocols, it can reduce stigma. It can reduce stigma because I may be feeling sick, I have a mask. You're not feeling sick, you have a mask. None of us may be feeling sick, we're observing the distance. So it's easier, right, for people, somebody who may be going through something or whatever, somebody who's recovered or somebody who may be sick, to continue to take on these practices that can prevent the spread, because the stigmatizing comes when you can point out and put a finger at somebody and put them in a specific category. Just imagine if we said only persons who are who could possibly have the condition should wear masks. Then it would be easier to be like, oh my God, only persons who have symptoms wear masks. Then it would be, oh my God, but yeah, one time it's easier to stigmatize. But when we all target not the individual who is not to blame, that individual can be you, it can be me, it can be our daughter, our mother, our sister. When we don't personalize the illness and we look at the agent and we focus on how we, whether it be those who have it, those who don't have it, those who possibly can have it, which is all of us, how we are going to stand up and fight this agent, then it helps to reduce that stigma.
We as one species.
We as human beings have this vermin that we need to, we've studied and we have some information about it. And so therefore we together, all of us, no matter what category we fall within that spectrum, whether we've been quarantined or not, whether we've been isolated or not, whether we were confirmed or not, whether we never went in or not, we are fighting the agent, not the person.
Collective responsibility.
Collectively.
Et puis, moi, je voulais venir là, moi, je vais parler. Pour vous qui avez écouté ça, bon matin, quand la coutume, nous et puis nous ici, il y a qui a éduqué moun et puis bah information en bureau santé, ça c'est et puis ministre de santé, mademoiselle Grandison, Naomi Granderson. Et quand la coutume, il a parlé à sous, en chaque ces bagages là, nous pas payer attention pour. Et puis nous avons à présent, il a parlé à sous en chaque bagage, là il vient pour protocole, raison pour suivre li, il a parlé à sous directive yo, là il vient pour qu'à suivre avec ba information pas simplement seulement et ben panique dit nous ka wete like faire ça nous vle, mais il a dit tel pour exemple WHO, organisation qui est responsable pour santé pour la terre, ka bay directive et puis c'est là il vient pour CMO avec yo même ka prendre ces directives ça et puis mettre en place et puis ka banouille quoi yon c'est côté il a adressé bon matin, moi demandé une question là vini pour ça. C'est là vini pour manière moun ka maltraité et ben mépriser sous vle dit un moun qui j'ai contacté. En chaîne nous peut-être connaître moun qui est testé positif là vini pour vermine Covid là. Et puis qu'a dit situation c'est une veille avec balancer qui ça y a. En compagnie moun kay veille avec dit tel moun ni vermine ça moi même pas vle vinn bon moi ou il sort l'hôpital qui là m'a vle choumen ça bon pour qui ça yo là J avec bagay. Et ben l'autre compagnie moun kay dit moi même pas vrai ici hein soit ouais vinn ici c'est l'autre bagay. Et nous ka dit on est catchi laisser femme on est qu'à laisser ou foi ou c'est ça est-ce ou même t'es content moun traite ou comme ça et yon c'est bagay là qui plus important moi quoi il mettait clarté à celui-là c'est là venu pour comprendre là yon moun entrer dans institution là il a les traitement et puis en isolation. Yon nan se bagay lan ki ka fait là, ou ka savent. Body nous a trouvé koyan dans manière dat qui ka combattre be wabate vermine qui peut-être qui a vle venir faire nous malade. Après je ne tel exemple ka sam yo ka parler de measles. Yo dou kon law hen measles yon fois ou pas supposé hen ni encore. Ek ça yo ka dia c'est body ça wabate ka goumen. I même ka produit ces soldats même ek yo ka wabate rien qui vini. Quand il a dit en même voix, c'est pour nous veiller, là il venu pour Covid. Il y a des gens qui après traitement, qui a retourné en commune. Moun sa raison qui yo la, j'ai raison qui il retourné, c'est parce qu'il panique. Changer encore, qui ça qui a fait les moun sans tuer. Yo ka veille, juste là avant yo la, yo ka fait des tests, fait assurer yo vie négative, et puis là il retourne kaili, il ni pour faire 14 jours kaili toujours. Juste pour faire assurer il pani vermine quoi il pas assis manger. Quoi il bien important pour nous comprendre là vini pour ça qui ça qui ka aller avec manière bagay là ya moun qui yo ha dit OK tout bail bon et pour oui tourner moun ça mais c'est nous ni pour commencer traiter même quand nous de gars vont moun traiter nous moi quoi moi toucher dans ti morceau c'est pas ça nous ka discuter.
Vous parlez bien là, mais moi, wish me ça parler créole la même manière. Vous dit, vous parlez about immune system nous, avec manière les ou avemina tuer dit dans nous, then quoi ka garder, il ka faire investigation, il ka faire spécifique bagay. Accordé au passage une condition ça corps yo ka couyer immunity et moi apprécie au parler about Tesla yo ka fait les moun avant yo quitter allow moun pour quitter isolation puis si nous là et moi t'es allé pour joindre traitement à l'hôpital yo mettez ni symptômes et yo find out that moi ni condition. Oui. Et là moi jeune traitement, moi recover, yo check encore mani condition. Moi plus assuré panique condition passe l'autre monde. Qui peut-être yo ka tousser et yo ka qui manière you saying hide it.
Yo ka say way.
Yo ka say way.
Yo pas ka même aller pointer de
parce que yo pas ka aller garder pour check. OK, pour china tout c'est tellement que meni la fièvre là. Et peut-être moi qui aller jeune traitement et fait qui ça qui bon, moi plus safe passer l'autre monde là qui ka rester kayo et yo pas ka 10 pièces monde. Yo ni tout ça là, yo ni la fièvre ça là, yo ka senti corps yo malade, yo pas ça really pour l'exploration bien, eh ben yo ni souffre qui pas ka quitter yo. So de là ou ka le manière stigma ka travail, de là pas rational, it's not really rational thinking.
On nous voulait dire comme si c'est un chaise moun sa ignorant.
Oui.
Ignorant pas veut dire c'est un bagage négatif en science ça mais ignorant veut dire yo pas ni information et ben yo pas comprendre parce que si moi comprendre ça ou ka dire avec parole là nous ka parler à sur le bon matin l'ay vini pour moun ka maltraiter un moun qui a trouvé quoi malade yo ka dou l'ay vini pour maladie pas noteuse parce que ou pas ka choisi pour hen comme malade mais en même voix moi ka dit est-ce que moun comprendre yo moun qui a pris traitement ça qualité précaution yo après moun ça yo mettez pas koy à présent nous ka servi viette l'hôpital là yo ka observer yo ka bay traitement ek moun ni pour comprendre là ni différents stages là vini pour maladie pour dire yo moun ni nous pas ni personne si moi fan là ou payer moi doit en ça nous pas ni personne qui aller sous pièce machine pour aider yo prendre l'expiration nous pas y vendre dans place côté nous ni pour faire personne l'opération et ben rien qu'on rend ça nous ka hen c'est moun qui contacter yo ka trouver quoi yo traiter là même et ça moi voulais répéter encore c'est moun ni pour changer qui manière nous ka traiter là yo identifier moun nan yo ka voyer isolation yo ka bay traitement yo ka observer yo ka faire des tests et changer ces tests sans si maintenant pas et tous les deux ni pour vie négative. À part de ça, yo quitter l'hôpital là, et quoi caillou ou ni pour être caillou 14 jours encore. Juste pour faire assurer qu'on a prendre chaque précaution. Mais est-ce que moun connaît ça? Est-ce que ça doit là? Est-ce pas qu'on dans une manière ben l'autre pas dit temps nous ka parler, nous ka dire, nous pas dire assez et bien on dit c'est une situation côté moun juste pas mêlé.
Moi quoi moun pas je connaît assez about ça là. Et pas ka parler about li assez. C'est moun là qui connaît li pas ka parler about li assez comme là pour bay moun éducation yo besoin pour changer kachilio ek manière yo ka traiter moun aussi là ni moun qui kay ton information ou just bay là qui clair direct mais yo ni manière yo ka catch it. They already have a belief system that of not trusting what is being said. They already have a way of thinking, and sometimes they're not willing to be convinced otherwise. And so because of that type of attitude, they feed the stigma. And so for us, we need to continue to have conversations with them, bring up this information, and even link what I was just about to say, that when they have that type of belief system and they refuse to even recognize what is being done and how protected these people are, how clear they are from having the virus, as opposed to the next person they're standing by that they feel so comfortable with, who may have the virus, whereas this other person does not have it for sure. This other person does not have it for sure. And you're treating this person with such disdain, with such disapproval. Ou pa vle wè moun la, ou ka pale mal about moun sa, ki definitely pa ni kondisyon.
Parce que il point traitement.
Il point traitement, il point kometes. Mais ou là, parmi a lot moun qui peut-être ni condition. So c'est manière nous ka fait catcher nous ni pour really parler about li. That aussi a moun qui quarantine, ça pas dit yo ni condition. Yo ka fait un bon bagay pour faire quoi yo pour garder quoi yo et pour protéger l'autre monde et aussi ou même ni pour faire ça. Si vous sentez quoi a manière et si vous exposez un monde qui peut-être qui tient condition. So aussi stigma c'est un bagay nous ni pour really attaque et puis éducation parler et pour monde qui déjà ni condition pour aller parmi monde ni conversation expliquer situation qui ça yo joine expliquer about même bagay là c'est test là pour monde garder where yo bon et tout ça ka une cause ka ça reduce stigma. Like nous parler à ce stigma. When we say stigma, it's the way of thinking where you have a negative thinking, a disapproval mindset towards a person or a group of persons with a specific condition or disease or specific characteristic. So stigma doesn't only affect, let's say, that person who contracted the condition, or the person who was in quarantine, or the person, but it also is extended towards the family members. So if your cousin who lives in your house was on the cruise ship and they were quarantined, they were not confirmed, they were quarantined. You, as the person's cousin, somebody can stigmatize you. They can have a negative association with you and disapprove of you and treat you like, almost like, woi, don't come by me, simply because of the fact that you are associated to somebody who might have had the condition. So you see how irrationalities.
Oui. Moi, comprends ça, on dit quand c'est là où on fait, c'est presque comme si on mettait cause dans les différents. Quand yon moun ka chile kon moi dit moun ça frère Jessie a déjà sorti à boba toi il ka travail ou ça yo mettait quarantine. Yo mettait dehors. Moi même m'a vle Jessie parler ba moi. M'a vle pièce l'autre moun parler. Nou ka dit ça ek bagay lan c'est ça. Moi quoi un chay di nou a une situation côté ou ka dit un moun Jessie ou était si pieds souple. Garçon ouais moi nan rien. Ou fijay moi nan rien là et puis il ka mouche ignorance là. Dat ki il pas match en les fijay personne en plus. Nous ka dit l'on observer. Il ka prend 14 jours en ben pli pour identifier ça dedans moun. Bon moun ka do garçon m'a ka tousser maintenant yon ouais moi nan rien e ka de l'on bien malade. Et si moun comprend ça moun ka croire, il ka pli clair moun ka traiter moun pli mais on comprend?
Ça vrai puis là nous tout garder accordé anybody at all can spread or be affected or infected in some way, and we treat everybody the same way, then with warmth but respect. You treat the person with warmth but respect. So it's important.
Moi, quoi, bien important, oui, là, il vient pour ça, pour mon copain, il pas écrit en les fidèles personne. 20 maintenant, c'est yon ça ou été dit donc pour 14 jours avant mouche pièce et puis ça nous a dit ou pas qu'à mépriser moun, ou pas qu'à mal parler moun, ou pas qu'à mal traiter moun, là il vient pour ça. Nous a dit raison qui nous a parlé sur ça c'est parce que nous a tellement souvent moun a dit oui garçon manan ou a dit moi oui bon ça c'est protocole là et raison nous a fait c'est pour empêcher moun contacter et puis s'immerger. Moun qui en quarantaine, c'est moun ça c'est pas malade yo malade, mais nous a pris précaution avant ces moun ça aller dehors là et ben retourner en commune pour yo pas s'immerger. Comme Grandison bien dit, à délai pas délai c'est moun ça quand yo a pris test là ou qui pas jamais prend test et quand comme ka dit à délai qui après 14 jours avant ouais pièce signe et au pénicilline ou pas ka mouche c'est moun ça qui en quarantaine yo plimé parce que yo assuré yo pas ni yo a pris test là quand nous ka dit traiter moun même manière ou te ka vouloir moun traiter si vous contacter 20 minutes ben n'importe l'autre maladie.
Thanks for that, Carlton. And on that note, we're due for another break for the morning. Just want to let you know, after this morning's regular programming, we'll be having a special donation handover from our Easter Sunday telethon. More entities are making good on their commitment to raising funds for personal protective equipment for our frontliners in the COVID-19 fight. So we hope you could stay tuned for that special handover. We'll also be getting an update on the telethon. Last we heard from Ms. Doreen Georges from the Ministry of Tourism. We got told that $1,925,000 had so far been collected from the telethon pledges, and from the GoFundMe account, $196,238.60 had so far been raised. The total being $2,121,338. And last week we saw Carlton a donation of $10,000 being made by St. Lou Metal and Plastic, as well as another donation of gowns, masks, and gloves being made last week. So we look forward to today's donation. We hope you could stay tuned for that as well. Again, we're due for another break this morning. Stay tuned. More updates and more engagement with Naomi Granderson when we come back.
As part of government's social stabilization plan to assist persons who have lost their means of earning due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the government of St. Lucia has implemented the Income Support Program, where non-contributors to the NIC shall receive a monthly payment of $500 for the next 3 months. Taxi drivers, jet ski operators, vendors, agro-processors, tour guides, hairdressers, barbers, small bar and restaurant operators, construction workers, and other sole traders who meet the criteria can apply using the Government of St. Lucia's website, www.govt.lc. Payments will be made directly via electronic transfer to the recipient's bank account. The Income Support Program, simple strides towards recovery.
And in the latest news, the coronavirus, or COVID-19, continues to be a health emergency across the world. Caribbean people are concerned.
Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. And don't discriminate cause it might be, it very well could be, somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening, we're in this together. We all got to work with each other. Look out for our friends and our neighbor. And if you feel sick, don't be afraid to call the doctor.
Red Cross volunteers from across the Caribbean, working hard to fight discrimination. So if a person should feel ill, then they will contact the authorities without hesitation.
The most vulnerable are the elderly, but the truth is it can infect anybody. So what we need is solidarity. Everyone helping everyone like a family. So
this is a message to the nation. Make sure you seek out the right information from official sources like the Ministry of Health, Red Cross and the World Health Organization.
Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. And don't discriminate cause it might be, it very well could be, somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening.
People around the world facing this pandemic. Coronavirus have the whole world a panic. Now is not the time to be fearful, but to be careful, supportive and empathetic.
This is the state of the society. Some people full of fear and anxiety. Yo, a lot of fake news in the community. But what we need now is more love and unity. So
this is a message to the nation. Make sure you seek out the right information from official sources like the Ministry of Health, Red Cross and the World Health Organization.
Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. And don't discriminate cause it might be, it very well could be, somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening. We're in this together. We all got to work with each other. Look out for our friends and our neighbor. And if you feel sick, don't be afraid to call the doctor.
What's in the food you're eating? Do you really even know? All the chemicals and hormones used to accelerate their growth. All the artificial flavoring, sweeteners and colors too. We consume and we don't spare a thought for the damage that they'll do. Think about the children. Think about the children. How will we save them? Chemicals and GMOs are not the solution. Use organic and join revolution.
Excessive agrochemical use, additives and genetically modified foods are harmful to health and the environment. Join the good food revolution. Grow, buy and consume organic. A message from Rise St. Lucia and the Ministry of Sustainable Development with funding from the GEF Small Grants Program, UNDP.
The good food revolution.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is St. Lucia. Let her inspire you.
In a world where germs are widespread, comes a group of superhero germ busters. the germaphobes.
We spend most of our time fighting germs, every day of the week. After I play, I wash my hands. Before I eat, I wash my hands. After I play with my puppy, I wash my hands. I cover my sneezes with my forearm or elbow when I am in public. And I cover my cough to avoid spreading dangerous germs. We are the germaphobes, germ-busting superheroes. You can be too. Always wash your hands and cover your sneeze and cough. Let's stop the spread of menacing germs.
We'll be back, germaphobes, with more powerful germs.
And we will be waiting to prevent you from spreading.
Sanitizer, better yet use soap and water.
We must protect each other if we are to beat this corona.
Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. Be a soldier, together we can beat this corona.
So you don't become the next case. Avoid touching your face. I'm sure you've been told so. Handshakes and hugging are up, no, no.
Advice give you the please. Cover your mouth and your nose if you cough or sneeze.
Practice social distancing and avoid large social gatherings.
Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. St. Lucia, be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
For further information, please contact the hotline at 311 or the Bureau of Health Education at 468-5349.
And in the latest news, the coronavirus or COVID-19 continues to be a health emergency across the world. Caribbean people are concerned.
Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. Don't discriminate cause it might be. Very well could be somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening, we're in this together. We all got to work with each other. Look out for our friends and our neighbor. And if you feel sick, don't be afraid to call the doctor.
Cross volunteers from across the Caribbean, working hard to fight discrimination. So if a person should feel ill, then they will contact the authorities without hesitation.
The most vulnerable are the elderly, but the truth is it can infect anybody. So what we need is solidarity. Everyone helping everyone like a family. So
this is a message to the nation. Make sure you seek out the right information from official sources like the Ministry of Health, Red Cross and the World Health Organization.
Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. Don't discriminate cause it might be. It very well could be somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening.
People around the world facing this pandemic. Coronavirus have the whole world a panic. Now is not the time to be fearful, but to be careful, supportive and empathetic.
This is the state of the society. Some people full of fear and anxiety. Yo, a lot of fake news in the community. But what we need now is more love and unity. So
this is a message to the nation. Make sure you seek out the right information from official sources like the Ministry of Health, Red Cross and the World Health Organization.
Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. Don't discriminate cause it might be. It very well could be somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening. We're in this together. We all got to work with each other. Look out for our friends and our neighbor. And if you feel sick, don't be afraid to call the doctor.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is Saint Lucia. Let her inspire you.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. We continue with the morning report live on NTN from GIS Studios, the Information Command Center. Just to give you a quick update before we resume our interview, over 20 existing airport services to be relocated. Work on the UNR International Airport Redevelopment Project will officially begin this week. And that's the word we're getting from the SLASPER General Manager, Darren Snack. And just to give you some background information to understand what's going on, the project kicks off with site hoarding of about 55 acres and the relocation of just over 20 existing airport services this week. This component is part of one of a four-phased approach and is expected to last approximately 4 months. The foundation aspect of the project, which involves the driving of more than 3,000 piles, will be launched simultaneously. Construction for the HIA redevelopment project is undertaken by Taiwan-based Overseas Engineering and Construction Company, with project management, engineering and oversight by Miami-based CBRE HERI. The two companies have extensive experience in their field of work, construction and engineering respectively, for major infrastructure projects across North and Latin America and the Caribbean. So please take note, the work on the UNR International Airport Redevelopment Project officially commences this week. We continue with this morning's interview with Ms. Naomi Granderson. She is the Family Life Educator. As we wrap up, can you just give us some of the tips as to how we can reduce stigma? If you're just joining us, we've been talking about returning to the new normal as we live with this new COVID-19 situation, reality, and part of it is, stigma, the very real concern of stigma against those who have survived the transmission and the disease of COVID-19. Naomi, how can we reduce stigma in our communities?
First and foremost, each individual has to make a personal decision to decide to be warm, encouraging, and positive towards others. Secondly, the person should stick to reputable sources of information about the virus and COVID-19 disease. Understand why it is called COVID-19. Do not label the virus as an Asian virus, a China virus, or Wuhan virus, because that is a stigmatizing mindset. Do not label a person as a COVID-19 case. Just identify the person that has contracted or has had the condition, somebody who may have had the condition. Don't label people. Make a decision to, when these thoughts about disapproving of an individual that may have had the condition or not comes up in your mind, that you decide to make a change in terms of what you're going to think and how you're going to approach that thought. If you get a negative feeling to something to do negatively, take a step back and change that expression. Instead of running away from the person, stop and say hi, how are you? That can help with the stigma. Engage in these type of websites, as I said, that have the reputable information, and continue also to, for those of us who are in health education, to speak to the ways to prevent the spread of the disease, of the infection, speak to the virus itself, and all of us collectively working to prevent its spread rather than protecting ourselves against people. That can stigmatize people. It is the condition or the virus that we need to identify as the danger, and so we should continue to speak to how we can prevent the spread of the virus, not how we can protect ourselves against people. So these are some of the ways.
Wonderful. Carlton, any final?
Merci tellement pour nous ici que nous avons parlé avec Naomi Granderson, yon qui a indiqué moun là venu pour bureau santé. Quand parmi bagay nous avons parlé bon matin c'est là venu pour manière moun ka tweeter personne qui contacté COVID. La question j'ai supposé de les a pas dit ça nous a discuté c'est qui manière moun ça tweeter yon moun qui te ha hen virus là. Quand parmi bagay dit ou ni pour point personnellement fait du tout quand yon moun pour dire ou pas kay Twitter moun kon ha ou ni pour faire di comme ça parmi l'autre bagay il parler à celui là ou même ni pour comprendre ni information et comprendre ni information kay ni avec ça ou kay comprendre et ben fait du tout pour apprendre un côté où ça va sortir côté à qui doit être là et qu'on nous a dit qu'à sortir en bouche cheval là ou qu'à ça vous une information qui doit être ministre santé WHO yon dans ces places ça pour laisser ça ou ça c'est une organisation et ben place qui a ba information qui doit être et dans l'autre bagaille pas vers moun ek dit moun ça c'est en Covid moun ça c'est en 19 moun ça c'est bail plutôt pour faire ça il doit marcher chaîne distance sociale là mais dit moun ça bonjour demander moun ça nouvelle li comment y est quoi laisse ça ou avec moun ça ni en connexion parmi l'autre bagaille aussi il a dit et si nous tous venons ensemble avec traiter moun qualité l'amitié c'est qualité parce que ça nous supposé nous kay ouais nous imprimer côté et kay moucher nous même comprendre ça qui a fait là les venir pour merci tellement pour information.
Merci. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. And before you go, I mean, as we enter not only stigma, but as we enter this new reality of COVID-19, learning to live with it, adopting new habits for our lives, you know, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, it's not the first time you've come out to speak about a virus or, you know, communicable and non-communicable diseases. Can you just reinforce the importance of us taking care of ourselves going forward? If we didn't think of it too much before, just going, hustle and bustle, not eating right, not exercising, can you reinforce the importance of these in at least keeping COVID-19 at bay?
It is important that we engage in self-care practices just for well-being, just for us to experience happiness and for us to have a general sense of enjoyment in life. And for COVID-19 and any other potential condition, we reiterate the need to be active daily, to exercise, to engage in activities that can strengthen your muscles and get your heart going. We reiterate the information about the diet, which is highly important because this is how your body is going to get the nutrients and the energy to fight off infections. So please, fruits, vegetables, nuts, peas, top up on that and increase your intake of water. We've been recommending 8 or more cups for the day. Continue to drink as much water as possible. Continue to take care of your mental health. Monitor the symptoms, the tension in your body, your inability to focus, your level of tiredness and fatigue, and take some time to take a step back, to relax, to stay away from the negative news or talk to somebody that can bring some laughter or some positivity into your life. All of this encompasses overall well-being that can help to defend any condition or protect you or help you to cope with any condition. So we continue to implore people, again, to manage stress, to eat well, to exercise, and to practice good hygiene.
Thank you very much for that. Special thanks to Naomi Granderson and the Bureau of Health Education. We know it's not only you, but a team of you guys.
Right.
So thank you all very much for your efforts in getting the public informed, in sensitizing the general public on COVID-19 at this time.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Naomi Granderson there, a family life educator. And as we wind down, I just want to give you some word from the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education engages or will be engaging stakeholders on phased reopening of school. And just reading from the press release, the ministry will convene a meeting with stakeholders on Thursday, that is today, to review the phased reopening of school as of June 3rd, 2020, and to address options for the academic year 2020-2021. The meeting, which will follow COVID-19 guidelines, will take place at the Stanley John Odlum Memorial Secondary School in Marigot and will commence at 9 a.m. And we all are familiar with the format with which we've experienced learning from home for this third term, as well as the Common Entrance and CSEC students preparing. But to go down to the academic year for September, the new academic year for 2020-2021, the ministry values stakeholder engagements, and as we plan for the new academic year, we reaffirm our commitment to affording the nation's children and teachers the best learning and teaching experience even during this uncertain period. Hence the concerted effort to invite the participation of our stakeholders in determining the way forward, and the outcome will be communicated through the usual official channels. So we await the outcome and update from the Ministry of Education in a subsequent broadcast on how that meeting panned out. Just to let you know, we do have, remind you, we have a special donation. Another entity is making good on their pledge during the Easter Sunday telethon. We do have more pledges coming in week after week, so we do hope you could stay tuned for that. And also we have a telethon update that we hope you could stay tuned for that as well, coming from the Ministry of Tourism. We are now on standby for that handover, that special handover, and the update from the ministry. Stay tuned.